What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and as you can tell, today I'm a little hot. Hey, if it's your first time here, glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back and thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. All right, let's not waste any time. We've got a lot of information to cover with the XFL. Now, we talked about the whole XFL getting sold and the whole pitch and all of that is being pitched to all these potential buyers. We talked about that in a previous video, and I'll put something somewhere for that video, a link somewhere for that video in the description, some cards somewhere so that you can watch that if you haven't seen that already. But I just want to give a shout out to my boy Sean over there at the EndZone. He actually got his hands on one of those hype pamphlets, whatever it was, that were going out to all of those potential buyers, and which had all the information that we've already talked about on them. But he showed the public to him, so I want to give him a quick shout out and go ahead, check his video. I'll put it down in the description as well, and you can check out his video, and he kind of shows all of the things that they've got featured on there, and this kind of 2-page pamphlet thing that they put together. It's a pretty neat little thing. I would imagine that it's probably fairly accurate. That I know I saw in the comments and some of his stuff saying that, oh, this is fake news or this is a fake thing, and that it looks fairly legit to me just by all the branding that I've seen with the XFL since the start of the XFL. Because yes, I've been following the XFL since the beginning, and I've seen all of the stuff that all of their branding stuff, and it follows to a T to what they have been doing. As things go on with that, in that situation, I really do feel like the XFL is definitely going to get bought and that the XFL will move forward. It seems to be that there's a lot of optimism around it and a lot of buzz. Granted, it's still me. You're talking to me here, a guy who is a glass half full, and I'm a little frustrated right now. So I'm probably leaning on that a little more than probably what I normally would. But as I look at all of the stuff that are put together and that with it, I hope and I think that the XFL will get sold. Now, what that will happen, we'll talk about that in upcoming videos. But listen, the nice thing is that they have to have the whole process wrapped up. They're going to wrap the whole process up by July 8th. So it'll be nice that here within less than 2 months, we're going to have an idea of what's going to be going on with the XFL. So that will be nice. That'll be taken care of. So that's pretty cool. Go check out the EndZone. Check out his video. And that it's a neat little pamphlet thing. And like I said, I've already kind of covered everything on it, given my thoughts on it. I think that there's a good shot here for the XFL for the future, and you can check that out down in the description. Now, let's move on, because I think that there's a cool article that was out there, and unfortunately has to be overshadowed by the crap that I want to talk about at the end. But Norm Chow came out and he did an article with Deseret News, and it was a really neat article. Again, these articles that have been coming out with these XFL guys are just fantastic. It really just was neat that just how these writers are putting these together and showing and really just giving clout again to the XFL and what the XFL was able to accomplish and what they were able to do. It's just, it is really neat. And I'm going to give credit where credit's due. So I'm definitely going to give the writer of this article, who is Joseph D. Hoponato. He's a contributor to the Deseret News. I apologize, I botched your name, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and put a link to it down in the description. It's a great read. And listen to this. It says, the XFL ranked right up there with the total package of having fun coaching, having fun putting up game plans, and having fun working with people. It was an absolute blast. Listen, That's what the XFL was. I've been saying this for weeks, and I'm going to continue to say it. XFL brought the joy of football back to me. Football had become kind of this thing, right, to where I love football. I'm there watching it all the time, but it became really what it was. It just became too serious. It's just too cumbersome. Too much riding on the line that it is a game, people. And don't get me wrong. Listen, I'm going to be in it and I'm in it with the football, but it was just like everything was riding on everything with it. There was so much pressure in it. And get it, I'm a guy who's sitting on his couch watching the football game. I'm not even I'm not even a guy on a team or coaching, and you feel the pressure that's there with it and everything that's going on, whether it be college, whether it be pro, whether it be high school. I mean, it's just the pressure to succeed, the pressure to perform, and that with it, and to watch this stuff and the seriousness about it, and everything's so serious, and we don't get to see any of this stuff till afterwards. I mean, one of the things that I've been doing and I've been watching, right, since the beginning of really all of this has been going on is there's no sports. So you've got to watch these documentary things and stuff. And you watch all this NFL film stuff. And they have all this fantastic footage, right, of all these guys behind the scenes, guys joking, making fun of, each other, doing this and that. And you don't get diddly squat till after the fact. Not until 15, 20 years later, when everybody's removed from where they are, do you get to see any of this information or any of this stuff that's going on, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. They've got all this stuff, behind closed doors. They're not allowing you to see any of what's going on, and I just love the fact that I got that access. I got to see Norm Chow having fun. I can say, you know what? He is being genuine and true, the fact that the XFL was fun. We had a fantastic time watching the XFL, watching guys go ballistic and lose their minds on the field, on the sidelines. Guys just rejoicing in joy, making plays. Being there, we got to experience it with them. We got to see them. And it wasn't just these highs or the things you don't talk about. We talked about when the refs screwed up and, they ended the game when they shouldn't have. We talked about it. We talked about when up in the booth, we got to see it. We got to live it with them. We got to see why, a referee called what they called and all of this stuff. Listen, we're all adults. We can take it. We can handle it. And, this thing that literally the NFL, the logo's the shield, but they really do have this shield up and they don't allow us fans or anybody into it. Listen, this is no longer 1960, 1970, 1989, 1999 or whatever. We're not protecting, people anymore. We get it. We want to see real. And it's cool that we got real with the XFL. And it shows here in this article. It was a fantastic article. I know I went on a tangent, but I really don't care. I'm a little fired up right now. And that's just what it is going to be. Listen, Norm Chow did a fantastic job once he actually got a competent quarterback in there. And listen, he's dealing with guys. You had guys that were playing quarterback until they got their starter, Josh Johnson. There. Once Josh Johnson came in there, he was masterful. He ran that offense. They looked fantastic. They looked like a really good team, and actually they were on the move, and I was really looking forward to seeing where they went from there. They were missing Nelson Spruce there at the end. Mr. Excitement, Montez Cota, they were missing him. And so, Norm Chow did a fantastic job here, and you could tell he was having fun. You could tell that those guys were in it. And yeah, they had their tense moments and that I loved, and they refer to, Johnson's like, quit arguing up there, just give me the dang play, stop this. I just need to, and it was fantastic. I loved it. And you could tell the guys loved being there. And these were football guys. And the thing that I really appreciated, it wasn't they just brought guys in. I mean, when you got guys, and, they kind of mentioned this, you got guys, these guys have personalities. I mean, listen, Winston Moss, the man is full of swagger, and he didn't like what he saw in week one, but you know what? He turned things around. He got the guys that he wanted on his team, and he got his team righted. He righted the ship. And they were looking good towards the end there. But he's a character. I love the fact that the XFL had characters and they let us see them. The thing about the NFL is the NFL does have characters. Make no bones about it. They've got characters, but the fact is that you don't know about it until after the fact. I mean, how many guys who are true football fans really know just how much of a character, Jerry Granville is? The guy it's fantastic watching him on the sideline. How Mummy, Bob Stoops, these guys, they've got these bigger than life personalities. And, all of this stuff. And, I'm missing a whole bunch of other guys out with their June Jones. I mean, all of these, even Pep Hamilton, I mean, he had a really nice cool guy swagger going on with him. And, good for him to get that, job back in the NFL he did. But it just goes to show me again what a great product they had. And this is a fantastically written article. If you're a fan of the XFL, you need to go read it. And I truly do believe, and I agree with Norm Chow, it was fun. You could tell they were having fun. You could tell that they were having fun. It's like it was like falling back in love with your first love again, right? Rekindling that fire and, that romance that was there. I mean, you could see that they were being innovative. They were trying to find new ways to move this game along and work in these new rules and all of this stuff. It was new. It was exciting again, but yet it was familiar. It was comfortable. It was like I said, it's just like rekindling that fire again, and bringing that love back again that you had. And I just enjoyed it and I loved it. And I've said this many times and I'm going to continue to say it. I am not going to watch football the same again. There will be a part of me that's going to miss exactly what the XFL was if we do not get it back, which I think we will. And again, I've got my hopes up for this one. As we kind of go forward with this, it was a fantastic article. Norm Chow did a really nice job with it, I just thought that it was really good. Enjoyed the heck out of it, it really just made me get back to what I really enjoyed. So, read the article; it's down in the description. Now, let's go ahead and let's finish up because they, with what we've already talked about, before, and it's this lawsuit with Vince McMahon and Oliver Luck. And so we're finally starting to see, as things are coming into the federal court with it all, what is actually coming out. And, so we're finding out that there were a few big things, supposedly, that McMahon felt that Luck did not do, that he should have done, that he, that's why he fired him. And I get it. Listen, I know this is probably because of everything and trying to save money and this and that. This is kind of more of a business thing than a personal thing. But listen. You know my thoughts on this. Oliver Luck, I think, did a fantastic job. What he did with this league and where he led this league and where he put this league and where that league is and the XFL and McMahon being able to sell the XFL are solely riding on the shoulders of of Oliver Luck. And McMahon should thank his lucky stars that Luck did what he did with it, because if not, he would be swimming in a bigger cesspool than what he is. And really what he's done is he's created himself this, because I truly believe that the XFL, if whoever owns it, whoever buys it, does and stays on course with things, I truly believe that it's going to be a fantastic product and going to make them a lot of money, and that McMahon's going to be sorry that he's going to miss out on. If you ask me, the only person that screwed up here was McMahon with every decision that he's made since everything that has happened with what has happened, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to mention it. So, first and foremost, it looks like Luck's first claim which is a legit one, is that they did not utilize this 30-day cure period to address claims and issues before they fired him, which they should have done. They should have presented that with him, given him 30 days to fix those things. That's part of his contract, and he didn't get it. The other thing is we're finding out now that it's 23.8 million in the judgment is what he's seeking in this judgment, and that with it. Now, in response to Mr. Luck, McMahon's his lawyers have brought three big things up. Now, there was another thing that they brought up, but that they couldn't stand a leg on, which I think is absolutely hilarious. But the first thing is really the gross negligence of the job once everybody knows what happened. According to McMahon, Luck effectively abandoned his responsibilities beginning March 13th. He went back to his home and quit doing things for the XFL. Who was doing anything for anything after those dates in sports? Everything stopped. It's ridiculous. But he left the office in Stamford, Connecticut, and went to his home in Indiana, failing to devote substantially all of his business time to his XFL duties as required by the contract. Again, I don't know how else to say this or whatever. I mean, we're pretty much told that, if you can work from home, and I'm pretty sure he could have worked from home. So being there, I'm not buying this. This is just one that he's putting out there. And supposedly Luck was contacted with McMahon via text message, and his attorneys listed the projects he was working on, including 2021 budgets. So supposedly Luck said that, hey, I sent stuff to McMahon for this and that, and respond. The second thing is signing receiver Antonio Callaway without McMahon's approval, and then refusing to release him when McMahon ordered him to. Now, McMahon had previously said publicly that he did not want to sign players with problematic backgrounds. Most recently, and then we know everything with Callaway, this and that, and that he said that, that Luck had responded to McMahon's request to elevate talent in the league in the wide receiver position. So who do you go get? Callaway. He's a decent wide receiver. Listen, the only reason why he wasn't in the NFL was because of all of the issues that he had, and I've talked about this before, but yes, he had, he had issues from all across the board, and it just seemed like they got those things worked out, and that this was going to be his path back to redemption, and it looked like a good one. And so to use this reasoning, again, it's one of those, it's just bogus, it's ridiculous, it's stupid, but then again, it's legally, they've got to do this so that McMahon can try to, save money as much as he can and come out with it. Now, the other thing is that his personal use of XFL-issued iPhone, an allegation that was not mentioned in the original letter, and that the phone is being forensically examined right now to determine the extent of Luck's personal use. Come on. The guy is your executive of your company, and you're going to pull this crap that he's using his business phone for, personal use, this and that, whatever. Listen, it's not the government. One. So, we don't have to worry about that conflict there. He's your employee, and that with it, I don't know. I don't necessarily see that huge of an issue with it. Whatever. I mean, he is doing all of these things for you all times of the day, all of that type of stuff. I have absolutely no clue. I don't know. I find it a bit ridiculous. Whatever. I don't know if it's a breach of contract. I have no clue with that. I think that it's just a foolish and silly thing. Again, another stupid formality so that he can keep from paying Luck the money that Luck deserves. And this is the other thing. I'm going to get back to it. Keep saying, if you are out there and you're the one going to buy the league, hire Luck back, Pay him the $23.8 million. He is worth it. Pay him the millions of dollars. Let's get this thing back on track because he did a fantastic job. And I could care less about what personal things he was doing on his phone. He did a fantastic job. And again, I get what's happening. Now, the letter that they put out of what the reasonings and their just cause, supposedly, for firing Luck are this. The letters claim that Luck employed gross negligence in obtaining venues for the XFL to locate teams in connection with the negotiation of terms and sheets and venue agreements. In his response letter, Luck's attorney wrote that no venues were acquired without prior authorization and approval by McMahon. The XFL dropped that issue on Wednesday's filings. Thank you. That one just takes it over the limit. I don't know how in the world McMahon would even have signed off on him. And then you go through and you try to nail a guy for doing what you told him to do. Now, we know that through, other sources and other things, that a lot of this stuff and a lot of the places picked and things had nothing to do with Luck. Some of them, again, there was rumor that, Gilbride wanted to be there in MetLife and that, and, other things of that nature, but McMahon signed off on them, and now you're going to try to nail a guy. It's ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. And if McMahon just would have suspended operations and just flown through this stuff, he would have lost some money. There's no doubt about it. But I think in the end, he would have made much more money had he has stuck to it and done it. Now he's got himself in this big pool of mess and looking like a fool doing it. And the cool thing that I love about Luck is Luck's attorneys say this, and I am on his side with this, and I totally agree. Oliver is thrilled that this can be aired in the court of public opinion because his position is that he was wrongfully terminated. Listen, McMahon owes a lot of people a lot of money from the XFL, and right now it doesn't look like a whole lot of them are going to get anything. Maybe Luck might. A lot of this stuff is it looked like he's going to get off scot-free or whatever, and that the XFL is going to get sold, and things are going to move down the road with it. But hopefully Luck gets this with this is ridiculous. And the other thing is true. I stand with Luck on this. Listen, let's air all this out. We'll see who's standing at the end of this, because he's got nothing to hide. He's done nothing wrong, and all he's done is create a great product for McMahon, and McMahon can't even see it. Right now, if you ask me, Mr. McMahon, it kind of is, you hate saying this, but it just is what it is. As Al Davis was a mastermind with football. He was innovative. He truly was a great owner there for the Raiders. Did a lot of fantastic things for the Raiders. But towards the end there, and listen, I've got no ill will. I appreciate everything that he's done for the game. And I mean, he's done more for the game than I ever will. And that. But there was a time when he needed just to step back, and he didn't know when it was. I mean, he just made a lot of bad decisions for the Raiders and put them in a lot of bad places for a while there towards the end. And unfortunately, McMahon, I think, is not only done this with the XFL, but doing this currently with the WWE. He really needs to step down. I think that he's lost his edge. The edge isn't there anymore. He's fallen off the edge. And it's sad because it's affecting two different products. And I understand that part of it is coming from the fact that he had to save WWE, and he's got a lawsuit with WWE as well right now. So, I mean, it's very, very frustrating to me because you see two very, very good products being drugged down the hole by one man. And, hopefully the XFL will get out of this, and we'll get the XFL back, and, somebody else will take the reins, and this will just be a blip on the screen of it, and we move on. I'm really optimistic about it. I'm really where the XFL, I really feel good that the XFL will get bought, that something's going to happen with it, but what will happen, that's what scares me, because I don't think we will actually get the product that we had. And it's never going to be the same again. You're never going to get the same amount of people there. It's never going to have, that element ever again. That's done and that's past. But I'm really scared that we're going to actually get the XFL back kind of like what it was. You always know that, right? The sequel's hardly ever, better than the original movie. And, many times it's not even, it's not good at all. And I just hope that that's not what we get. I hope we get an Empire Strikes Back type of a deal where it is better. They see the things, they bring everybody back, bring the old band back together, and get this thing back on track and get it moving again, because they've got a fantastic job. They did a fantastic job, and they've got a fantastic product, and they need to just keep moving, and they just find a new benefactor to keep things rolling. And again, bring back Luck. I stand with him on this. I think it's ridiculous. I think they needs to pay him the money. He's worth every dime of it, and could care less with that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. And again, I apologize. Got a little frustrated with the whole thing. It just eats me up and tears me up inside that we're doing this with a man that literally created a product for you and made you look good, and you are the one that threw it in the trash. And then now you're trying to rub that all over him. It's just ridiculous. So those are my thoughts. That's what I think. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Think if I'm nuts, if I'm crazy, if I'm off my rocker, whatever. I love to interact with you guys. Thank you for being an awesome and amazing just community to interact with. I love you guys. So be safe and keep up the hope. Have a good night. Bye.